Yo, hello, it's Aslan, the Spill Basketball Show. How y'all doing? I'm sure you're wondering why I have these Bret Hart looking shades on. So my eyes had to get dilated today, so I had to wear them. But, with that being said, my eyes are feeling a lot better now. Therefore, I'm going to take these off. Hello. So I can see the stats, the facts, and all that. Correct, right? Alright. Welcome to episode 4. Again, this is Spell Basketball. I am your host, Aslan Williams. What's up? How you doing? But today we are going over Game 3, the recap of Game 3 between the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. This has been an amazing finals. This has just been a good year for basketball, period. I've just been so proud to be a fan of basketball this year. And so we're going to talk about the game itself, what I noticed. We're going to go over the stats. We're going to talk about what each team needs to do next game, talk about the surprises in this game, who the X Factor will be in Game 4, and also the news that I've heard around the league. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the Denver Nuggets first. We'll start with the stats of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic did something that has not been done before. Both players had a triple-double. Jokic had 32 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists, and Jamal Murray had 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. That tandem has just been amazing this year, especially in the playoffs. Unstoppable, unguardable. It's like you can't come up with a game plan to slow them down. Now, I do know Miami did a better job last game of slowing Murray down, but, I mean, it's just the best basketball duo that we have today. And so Aaron Gordon chipped in with 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Michael Porter Jr. still struggling in these playoffs. He had 2 points yesterday, but had seven rebounds, and is again getting better at trying to play better defense and everything. But the surprise for Denver last night was rookie out of Kansas, Christian Braun. I mean, he just came in and had an unbelievable energy. I thought he was the X factor in the game for Denver, absolutely, because usually Denver has about 5 to 6 players in double figures. Last night, Denver only had 4 in double figures, with that being Jokic, Murray, Gordon, and Brown, Christian Braun, that is. And, I mean, he was just a pleasant surprise for Denver yesterday. So I think he was very good on the defensive end as well. I think that's something Michael Malone's going to have to look at as far as, keeping him in the game a little bit longer to provide more minutes and more energy defensively. And, he can also knock down the three when he's open. So, pleasant surprise for Denver. Now, for the Heat, Jimmy Butler, as I stated last episode, that I thought Jimmy Butler needed to get more shots up and be a little bit more aggressive. And he definitely did that last night with 28 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. A little bit low on the rebound column for Jimmy, but, still had a good game, scoring on 11 to 24 for shooting. Bam, who has been consistent all series, had another good game with 22 points, 17 rebounds, and 3 assists. Gabe Vincent had 7 points, and that was it. He didn't have any rebounds. He didn't have any assists. I know he got in foul trouble pretty early, so he really wasn't much of a factor in the game, but even though on the shots he was taking, he had some wide open, decent shots and just didn't knock him down. So Gabe Vincent with 7 points. Caleb Martin had 10 early. Remember, Caleb Martin was averaging 19 points a game in those Eastern Conference Finals when a lot of people thought he should have won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He is really yet to get going for Miami this series, but he did knock down a couple of shots last night, a couple threes and a couple layups. And then Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson had 9 points each. 6 of those 9 points for Duncan Robinson came in the last couple minutes just off of some desperation threes, but he knocked him down. He's a shoot. But let's look at the team totals. Denver shot 51.3% from the field goal yesterday, while Miami shot 37% from the field goal yesterday. Denver is still struggling from 3-point. Every game Miami has led in the 3-point percentage. Denver shot 27.8 from three yesterday, and Miami shot 31% from three yesterday. Free throws, Denver shot 81.5. Miami shot 78. Denver shooting 22 of 27. Miami shooting 15 of 19. Now, this is the major discrepancy in the game yesterday, or the thing that really separated Denver from Miami, the rebounds. Denver out-rebounded Miami 58-33. So there was a complete drastic thing right there where Denver just completely out-rebounded Miami yesterday. And with that type of, level, you would think Denver had more offensive rebounds, but Denver only had 13 offensive rebounds to Miami's 10. The rest were defensive rebounds when it came to the big gap in rebounding with with Miami and Denver. Denver had 28 assists. Miami had 20. Denver had 13 turnovers. Miami only had 4 turnovers. So that's another thing that I look at in that stats where Denver has been turning the ball over pretty frequently in these finals, but still was able to come out with a win last night. And then points in the paint, Denver had 60 points, Miami had 34. So it's just, you see right there in that the rebound gap where Denver out rebounding Miami by 25. Man, that's it. And a lot of those rebounds could have been putbacks too. That's why Denver outscored Miami in the paint. So, moving forward, what I noticed, and again, this has been a major topic of conversation, Michael Porter Jr., he is just yet to get going. Even in the Phoenix series, didn't have like a really major breakout game. He had a couple good games in Phoenix. Let me rephrase that. LA didn't really have a breakout game. Kind of hung around between 10 and 15 points, but really has not gotten going at all in these finals. Again, he's had impact on defense and rebounding, but outside of that, he's just kind of been a non-factor. So I wanted to talk about that real quick with Michael Porter. Michael Malone did something I thought was very smart last night, and he sat Michael Porter down and inserted Christian Braun. Now, Christian Braun, again, came in with energy, 7 of 8 shooting, 15 points. And one thing I know as a player, especially if you are a major, key to that team, if you get benched or if you get taken out and somebody outshines you, usually that lights a fire under your butt. I remember there were times when I was playing ball and I would get benched, for lack of effort in practice or whatever. And usually I would come out and have a really good game. So I do believe Michael Malone made that move, and it was a genius move. Not only because Christian Braun was the one who was producing, but I also think that really could potentially light a fire under Michael Porter's butt, to where we can see him have a great Game 4 coming up tomorrow. And so I'm looking forward to that, and that's my X factor for Game 4 for Denver is Michael Porter again. I think that with, again, him being benched and him being taken out the game and not being a factor, I think I think he's going to do something. I think it was good. But Michael Malone keeping Christian Braun in there was a genius move. And again, I still think Christian Braun needs to get more time. I think he needs to be inserted more because he has that energy. He has great defense. He's athletic. He can knock down the three. Christian Braun is a very good basketball player. So I look forward to seeing him more inserted into that lineup tomorrow in Game 4. Another thing that I looked at was Denver needs to continue to clamp down on the three. So, yesterday, Strus and Robinson and Martin, I mean, they didn't really get going in Denver. You can tell that Denver definitely keyed in to make sure that those players didn't get hot. I believe what I was watching was Aaron Gordon did start off on Strus, and it didn't allow him to get into rhythm. And so by the time, they would start looking for Strus, Jimmy Butler's getting into rhythm, Adebayo's getting into rhythm. So, Aaron Gordon, let's just give Aaron Gordon props. I mean, the defense that he's been playing in these playoffs. I mean, who is he guard? Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, Kevin Durant, Booker, LeBron has switched off on AD. Now he's on Jimmy, Bam every once in a while. Like Aaron Gordon is an amazing defender and is proven himself to be that. So Aaron Gordon's relevance to this team is amazing. I also thought Aaron Gordon should have been an all-star this year. And so, Aaron Gordon and just his defense and the answer to the call of who he's supposed to guard and who he wants to guard is just amazing. And so putting Aaron Gordon on Strus to make sure he didn't get into rhythm or didn't even get looks at the beginning of the game was very important. So continue to clamp down on the three. Denver needs to do that. I also really noticed that Miami was double teaming Jamal Murray a lot. And it was good for Denver because Jamal Murray was able to get the passes off. But what I noticed, I think Jamal Murray needs to do when those double teams do come, I do think he needs to, I know he's trying to draw them out a little further to create more opportunities, but I also do think that he needs to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. And because those jump up passes aren't always going to work. And, of course, Miami is very quick and very defensive savvy. And so there was a time Murray kind of got trapped in the corner and he tried to jump up and pass it. And as you know, Denver gets caught standing sometimes. Try to throw it to Jokic. Jokic didn't see Vincent coming. Vincent steals the ball. They go down and get a layup or a foul. And so Denver has to come to the ball. So when those traps do come, Denver's going to have to come to the ball quicker. The other players that are kind of just standing will have to come to the ball quicker because Miami is trapping very high. And so that means somebody's open, either cutting or on the three. So if Murray's able to get rid of the ball just a little quicker, I believe Denver will have more opportunities and more shots available. And so also for Miami, we're going to switch over to Miami, what Miami needs to do moving forward for Game 4. I think Miami might want to slow down on trying to double team Jamal Murray because, again, when they did that, Jokic was just slicing them up. It was just an offensive surgical repair last night. And I think also going back to Denver, they just need to continue to cut. Christian Brown got a few layups, just cutting, wide open on layups. Jeff Green's always cutting. He's wide open. I think if Porter cuts more, he'll start to get in rhythm. If he can knock down just a couple layups, I think his shot will get going. But I think Miami does need to slow down on double teaming Murray a little bit better. The pressure is good, and again, it did cause turnovers. But I do think that can really bite them in the butt, as it did last night. Excuse me, in game 3. Also, Martin, Strus, or Robinson, one of the three, they have to have a big game in Game 4. Somebody has to have at least 15 or more. Bam and Jimmy, they're going to do their thing. Even Bam has been more consistent than Jimmy Butler has in these finals. But they're going to do their thing. You're expecting them to do what they do. But Martin, Strus, or Robinson have to step up. They need at least a 15 to 20 point game out of them in Game 4. Just to create more opportunities for them to win. Yeah, if anything, for them to win. Denver is an offensive juggernaut when it comes to scoring, and so Miami has to have that same type of confidence. I think if Denver continues to guard them on the three, they're going to have to get to the hole more. They're going to have to up that number in the points in the paint. If that means inserting Kevin Love or Cody Zeller's a good around the hoop player, where if you can just get to the cup, draw and lob it up to Cody Zeller, or just find him and get some trash buckets from him, that would be a good thing. But right now, Miami, they've made adjustments. They made some very good adjustments. Spoelstra's made some very good adjustments, but it just seems like Denver has been able to counteract that. Even in Game 2, even though Miami won, Denver seems to have been able to figure out what Miami's doing. And so I think the other thing that Miami needs to do, even though I feel like he could potentially have a great game tomorrow, they need to continue to make Michael Porter a non-factor. I think they've been attacking him. A lot of people aren't realizing it, but Michael Porter is not getting up really or getting the opportunity to get up shots like he should. So continue to keep a focus on him to where he can't get off. Because you don't want to give that man confidence. Once he gets his confidence and once he sees a few shots go in, it's like an ocean at that point for Michael Porter. So continue to attack him, continue to try to make him a non-factor, continue to keep him out of the game offensively. And then the last thing I have for Miami, I will say this. I thought there were a few fouls that weren't called on Jokic yesterday. The foul count was fairly even. Denver had less fouls than Miami did, but there were a few calls that I'm just like, that could have gone either way. Should have probably been called, but I think that's one thing that Miami really needs to do is try to get either Murray or Jokic in foul trouble, because at this point, without either of them, Denver probably can't win. So you need to really attack Jokic or really attack Murray to try to get one of those players in foul trouble. And then if you get that, then you have a chance. I think that's one of the biggest things that Miami can do. And so, it's going to get interesting. It's getting interesting. We'll see tomorrow. Of course, I still have my prediction. I still have the Nuggets in 5. I do believe that, Nuggets come out and play Nuggets basketball. That they'll be able to win, and then they'll go back home to Denver and end it in 5. That's still my prediction. But also another thing that happened that really helped out Denver yesterday, even though it was by 1 point, Denver outscored Miami in the fourth quarter. Miami is the best fourth quarter team. All the games that they have won and come back on in these playoffs have been in the fourth quarter. So finally, Denver outscored Miami in the fourth. Again, like it said, it was only by 1 point, but still they outscored them. So that was big, and Denver actually came out, and they still have to learn how to keep that foot on the gas pedal, especially toward the end of the fourth quarter, because it's just like 2 minutes hits, and Miami is just they turn into a whole different team. It's like they can't miss in the fourth quarter, and we saw that yesterday. Denver was up pretty much 20. And Miami could have cut it to 7 in the last minute. Bam missed a mid-range. Jim got the rebound, knocked their free throws down, and that was it. Duncan Robinson came in and hit a couple threes. But, again, Miami, that fourth quarter, that is their arena. So it was good that Denver outscored them. So that's the key moving forward for Denver as well. You got to outscore Miami in the fourth, okay? Miami's going to keep it close or do all they can or even be getting blasted. But that fourth quarter, they're definitely going to come out and play Miami Heat basketball. And that's just where they have shown their dominance this year. So that's my prediction. And that is also what I think should happen in Game 4. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good game. Again, I'm hoping my Nuggets win. I'm Nuggets out today. Got to rep my squad. Got the hat too. But again, this is a basketball talk show, not a Nuggets talk show. So, if y'all have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share this. If anybody loves basketball, have them come on. I love to hear people's opinions, what they think. Like to talk, like to debate, all that. So this is the basketball show that you want to listen to. This is the basketball show that you need. Also, with news around the league, the Suns are believing that they might waive Chris Paul. And so when we see that kind of wonders, like, is this the end for Chris Paul? Will he go somewhere else? If he does go somewhere else, what's a good fit for him? I heard a few analysts like Stephen A. and JJ Redick, they were talking about, staying in Phoenix would be good for him. I think that's the best fit for him if he's trying to win a championship, or even going to the Lakers, teaming up with LeBron and AD. I think that that point guard position in LA is something that is vacant that Chris Paul, I believe, could be a major upgrade in as well. But we will see what happens with that. And so, but this is episode 4, Spelled Basketball. I will see y'all, is it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday for the recap of Game 4. Again, if y'all have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. I love y'all. This is Aslan Williams with the stats, the facts, and all that. And I will see y'all on Saturday. Y'all have a blessed day.